How's it going, everybody? I'm Mike, and welcome to another episode of A Deeper Perspective, the video where I give you the analytic review of musical lyrics. I don't listen to the song itself because it takes away from my perspective, which is the true one. I just read the lyrics, the hard evidence right here in paper, and I give it to you. Now, today's episode is going to be a little different than the last ones. The last ones were top trending Billboard charting songs. And well, that's not to say that this one isn't, but this one is going to be a throwback edition. So we're doing the first ever Thursday throwback. I found an artist who has put out so many inspiring and very deep songs. And I want to really reveal the number one of those. The one I found is by an artiste named Bob Dylan. You may have heard of Bob Dylan. He's been around for some time. He's definitely been around for some time. And the song I'm going to do is Like a Rolling Stone. Right there, definitely it's hinting at the magazine company, Rolling Stone. They've been a magazine company for what seems forever, right? Like, I remember being a kid hearing about Rolling Stone magazine, so I'm sure if some of my viewers are a little older than I am, then perhaps you might know when they started. In fact, they've been around for such a long time that the Rolling Stones, the band, got their name after reading an article in Rolling Stone magazine that was about Bob Dylan. So the song starts, "Once upon a time, you dressed so fine, threw the bums a dime in your prime, didn't you?" That would be for the models that they would get to take pictures for the magazines. They were dressed so fine, and you throw the bums a dime, right? Because the bums were on point, you know what I mean? Their bums were like, bam! So you throw a dime at them and bounce that shit off of it. People say, beware, doll, you're bound to fall. Well, and they do that because the models are wearing stiletto heels, and in stilettos, it's a little bit, it's harder to walk, so you might fall off balance if you're doing a photo shoot near some stairs or anything that's kind of on an incline. So they say beware, just in case. They don't want anyone hurt in the studio, obviously. You thought they were all a kid in you. You used to laugh about everybody that was hanging out. Well, look at them now. They're not models, and you're a model. So there you go, right? Now you don't talk so loud. Now you don't seem so proud. And that's right, because now they're not in a magazine, and they're not being part of one of the greatest magazines of all time, Rolling Stone magazine. About having to be scrounging your next meal. Yeah, that's right. You're not scrounging, they're scrounging. Because you're probably hooking up some sort of interview with Carrie King from another band of great artists called Slayer. And they're probably going to pay for your meal for you because that's just the kind of people they are. Then we go into the first chorus. How does it feel? How does it feel? It feels probably pretty good, but I understand the question because in that magazine, they ask a lot of hard-hitting questions to different artists. And because unlike what I'm giving you, a lot of other platforms and networks don't really give you the meat and potatoes of what an artist really is about, right? And I feel like Rolling Stone magazine is just another one of those publications that is similar to how I am, and wants to get the real info out there. So they ask the real questions. How does it feel? And then to be without a home. Well, how does it feel to be without a home? Like a complete unknown, like a Rolling Stone. So how does it feel to now officially be a part of Rolling Stone magazine? Yeah, you don't necessarily have a home, because if home is where the heart is, and the heart is a band that is in this edition of Rolling Stone magazine, how does that feel that you're the one putting that article together? It's really compelling shit if you think about it. Bob Dylan's a deep man, real deep. Let me go to verse 2. You've gone to the finest school, all right, Miss Lonely. I believe that's one of the head writers at Rolling Stone magazine, Miss Lonely. Not entirely sure what her first name is, but I digress. But yeah, only used to get juiced in it. Nobody's ever taught you how to live out on the street. So juiced in it, that's literally just getting the the source, the main material. You got to get the juice in it. You know, what's the juice of this article? What are the artists trying to convey to you? What is the juice? And no one's ever taught you how to live out on the street because you're hustling for interviews, tracking down people. Not the TMZ way, a little bit more professional, but still out on the street nonetheless. And now you're going to have to get used to it. Well, that's true. You say you never compromise with the mystery tramp, but now you realize he's not selling any alibis. So you must be dealing, at least in this part right here, working with Rolling Stone magazine, you're not dealing with someone who has an ego. You're not dealing with an Axl Rose or any other of those people. He's a very easy example when it comes to alibis. As you stare into the vacuum of his eyes and say, "Do you want to make a deal?" Well, that just sounds like that Howie Mandel. He's talking about Howie Mandel. Deal or no deal? Do you want to make a deal? It's all coming full circle. I know Bob Dylan once said in an interview that if he could be anyone else, he would probably be Howie Mandel. And then goes to chorus 2 where he's asking, how does it feel? How does it feel? Be without a home. So we can go continue. Verse 3. You've never turned around to see the frowns on the jugglers and the clowns when they all did tricks for you. Well, because jugglers and clowns, they're not rock stars. This is Rolling Stone magazine is for rock stars and artistes. Jugglers and clowns, they're performance artists. That's not real art. That's not real dedication. You're throwing things in the air and you're catching them. Of course they're going to have frowns. Don't let that bring you down. You're a real journalist. You're looking for real, authentic material. Never understood that it ain't no good. You shouldn't let other people get your kicks for you. Yeah, definitely don't let other people take your interviews, because that's your career. If you let Joe Blow over here take your interview and he gets the dirtiest scoop of 2018 or whatever year this came out in, then your career's done for. And do you think he's really going to give that to you and go, "Oh no, that was Bob's interview. No, he gets all the credit. Joe Blow ain't doing that. Joe Blow's taking your material. So don't let him get your kicks for you." Used to ride around on a chrome horse with your diplomat who carried on his shoulder a Siamese cat. You see, now that goes above the level of that clown and jugglers. A chrome horse, first of all, needs to be reported about. That's intense. With a diplomat who carried on his shoulder a Siamese cat. And a hard when you discover that he really wasn't where it's at after he took everything from you everything he could steal. So that's a magician then. Okay, so we're talking about a magician. The whole thing with the chrome horse, Siamese cat, taking things from you, where he was really wasn't where he's at. Okay, so that's definitely a magician. So I think what he's saying is, like, other than being a clown and being a juggler, being a magician is a real art, and that's pretty damn rock star. So they're going to do an article on that, obviously. Princess on the steeple and all the pretty people. We just had a royal wedding, so maybe he's talking about that. Maybe he's sightseeing a royal wedding in the future, and now here we are. One has just happened, so we could really delve into this report here. They're all drinking, thinking they got it made. Well, they do. The royal family, of course they do. Exchanging all precious gifts. Yep, that happened. I seen it on the news. But you'd better take your diamond ring. You better pawn it, babe. You used to be so amused. Well, you know, rings are rings, right? Like, sometimes your finger gets a little bit bigger. The ring don't fit no more, so you got to get rid of it. And maybe after your husband spends about 3 months' paycheck, you can get a larger ring, preferably, ladies, with a larger rock. At Napoleon in rags and the language that he used, go to him now. He calls you. You can't refuse. You definitely can't refuse Napoleon in any shape or form. Napoleon Bonaparte, Napoleon Dynamite. That's a very strong-willed name. So when he calls you in a language like that, you have to you have to go for it. You can't refuse that interview. Any of those Napoleons would be a knockout interview for Rolling Stone magazine. So if any Napoleon calls you with that language, hit the record button and get that. And then the last couple lines here. When you ain't got nothing, you got nothing to lose. You're invisible now. You got no secrets to conceal. Well, that's true. You are invisible. You're truly just a person behind a pen and paper. People are reading what you have to write, but they don't actually see you doing it. And you got no secrets to conceal, because what's secret to a journalist? Absolutely nothing. So that's Bob Dylan's Like a Rolling Stone. Thank you for watching this throwback edition of A Deeper Perspective. I hope you are now a little bit more enlightened. And moving forward, if you do have any songs that you want me to basically explain to you what is happening within that song, let me know, and I'll add it to the list, and we'll see if we can learn together as to what artists are trying to convey. So share, comment, like, rate, do whatever you will with this video. Put it on Reddit. You could put it anywhere you want. If you want to make a 3D image of it and put it up on some K-pop music video, you could do that too. So thank you, everyone. My name is Mike, and this has been A Deeper Perspective.